If it makes a difference for you,
Oh, we're live.
the
Man.
light went flat right before we went live.
Your light.
Yeah, the one behind the computer screen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that might be why my head's disappearing.
Okay. Anyway, we're here.
All right.
26.1 is here.
26.1 is something that I can actually do. Woo! Where's the soundboard? Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Well, that's good. Okay, so you can do the whole thing, RX.
I can. The whole thing, maybe not the whole
maybe not the whole thing. I think most people won't be doing the whole thing.
But good on them if they do. If I make this smaller, oh, it does do that. Okay, just need to shift that across to there then.
Should we? How do you want to start this? Should we talk about the workout first, or should we talk about our reaction to the workout? Because I had a reaction.
Tell everyone your reaction.
Because the Castro had the boys out there ready to do the open announcement, and he was like, he had all this. Did you see it? Because you were training.
Not really.
You didn't see it. So
I looked up every now and then, and I saw all the equipment that got taken away, and I saw him riding on a box.
So basically, he brought the boys out, and then he had all this equipment there, and he let them like guess what piece of equipment was in the couplet, the two movements,
right?
Or two pieces of equipment or whatever. And when that was wall balls, I was like, oh, that's not ideal for Paul Colton, but that's all right as long as it's paired with something that that he's good at. It'll be a nice race amongst all the boys. And then they picked the box, and I was like, wall balls and box. This is a tall guy's workout. This is fully one-sided. It's not fair. Terrible workout. I hate it already. I didn't even know the rep scheme. I was angry at Dave Castro.
Colton.
Just because Colton was there and he was against the big boys, and it was just going to be a massacre. And then turns out he wins it anyway because he's better than them. It was crazy.
Yeah, and probably the fact that. So, what did you say Colton's finish time was?
So Colton finished this workout in 11 minutes and 16 seconds or thereabouts.
And it's got a 12-minute time cap on
12-minute cap. So I guess that's the first point. Although we should probably read the workout out. But the first point is going to be.
It's probably important for people to know they're probably not going to finish.
No one's finishing this. This is essentially a 12-minute AMRAP unless you have a good shot at making it to the CrossFit Games, or you're 7 feet tall and jacked. You're probably not finishing this workout.
Yeah. So if Jim was not injured,
still no chance. Zero chance. Because then fitness comes into it as well, and just being able to move at that pace. Like Colton did every set of wall balls unbroken, and doing the 66 unbroken in the middle of this that's a lot.
Yep. So all his wall balls were unbroken throughout the workout, and he still finished with only 45 seconds to spare.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, for the two people that are watching, hi. Thanks for joining. If you want to add something into the comments, please feel free to do so we know who you are or what you might like to know. But we'll just talk through, I guess we'll do a brief of the workout in a different way to how Dave probably did it in his live this morning.
Yeah. He started with the reps from the bottom. It was insane. It made no sense. He wrote a pyramid out, and he had a happy face, sad face wall ball because it didn't have a friend at the top. Anyway.
Well, I looked up at one point and I was surprised to see the number 66 at the top, and I was like, has Dave just decided he's the devil and that's it?
No, apparently. So Chase was saying this. So there's two reasons for the 66 because it goes 20, 30, 40, 66. And the two reasons are, one, he wanted that to be a big jump that crushes people because you're going 20, 30, 40, and then you add 26 reps and you're doing 66, that is a big jump in the middle of an ascending. At that point, it's ascending rep scheme. That's going to take people from like, I can do this to I don't want to do this and I want to go home. So there's that. But then he also said the 20 has a friend on the other end. The 30, he's got a little friend on the other end. There's another 30 on the way back down. The 40's got a friend, but the 60 looked lonely at the top there. So by giving it another 6, it was 2 6s that were friends. And I was like, there's a reason. Whether
I
that's true or not.
When you're trying to keep things fresh, then yeah, sure. All right.
Yeah.
So full time. 20 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, 30 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, 40 wall balls, 18 med ball box step overs. Then there's that 66 wall balls, and then it goes back to 18 med ball box step overs, 40 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, 30 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, and then finishes with 20 wall balls. 9 kilo for the guys, 6 kilos for the ladies, so standard across the CrossFit realm. 9 foot target for the ladies, 10 foot target for the guys. So again, that's pretty standard. Ladies get the 20-inch box, guys get the 24-inch box. Again, pretty standard, especially for an open workout in terms of those. The thing, I guess, to remember is it goes 20, 30, 40. Sorry, not that. It goes 18 box jumps, but then 18 step overs with that same med ball that you're using for your wall balls for that middle piece there. What have we got? 20, 50, 90. So there's 90 wall balls before you even get to the step overs with some other jumps in there. And then those 66 wall balls. So I guess the simplest thing to start with is if you've done Karen before, or we did a workout recently at the gym. It was, can't remember, maybe a Monday. People could look back on that Monday and see, because it was wall balls and box jump overs, just get a gauge of where they're at in terms of that. I don't know what that is. But if you're using Karen as a reference, Karen's in that first half of this workout.
Mm-hmm.
And if your Karen time isn't faster than 10 minutes, the likelihood of you getting through the 66 wall balls is significantly decreased, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
what's your Karen time, roughly? Or what has it been in the past?
Let me look, maybe 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to pull up SugarWOD to see.
Because also those box jumps, like 18 box jumps is not, or box jump overs, sorry, is not nothing in between each one. That's going to chew up some time right there as well. Oh, yeah, good point, Matt. Good point, Matt. Matt says, that's not what I was wanting before the fun run on Sunday. Yeah, this is going to cook some legs. Pretty bad. But it's Friday, Sunday. Maybe it's a good, just get them fired up. Then you get a day of rest, and then off you go for your 21K run. You could wait, Matt, until you've done your fun run, your half marathon on Sunday, and then do this on Monday, which would be equally horrible. I guess it depends which one the priority is.
Or even Tuesday morning, if you wanted to give yourself the absolute max amount of time to recover. I guess, Matt, how much is the $400 that's on the line for the half marathon worth to you? That's the real question. Versus glory in the open. Now, what have I come here to find? I want to double check CrossFit. I'm pretty sure, but I wanted to double check. I did say it was midday on the Tuesday your scores had to be submitted by. And I want to make sure that that's not a lie. What have we got here? Score window closes March 3rd at 12 p.m. Is that Tuesday? Yes. So you got till midday on Tuesday to get your score submitted. So, Matt, you could wait all the way until Tuesday morning to do this workout. You could look at everyone's pacing and everyone's breakdowns and everyone's everything and go from there.
Well, that's less fun.
Oh, is it?
But that's probably smart.
You want him to do it today and then again on Tuesday?
No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not when you've got a half marathon on Sunday.
How do I write over the top of this? I want to edit this. Draw. It's hard to do this stuff. Anyway, long story short, probably important for. I'm wasting my time. I'm trying to add up all the total reps. I think it was 246 wall balls. So total, if you finish this workout, it's a lot of wall balls to do.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. In our gym, it's not something that people need to worry about. Getting close to the finish. I don't know where the fittest people in our gym might make it to. That'll be interesting to see where they might end up.
Yeah, and you know what else is interesting too, Juzzy? Watching, and people will go out watching Bryson just start the workout and breaking up his 20 wall balls from the start. And so a lot of people go out and go, well, I can do the first 20 unbroken, but the question becomes, what does that do to you if you do the first 20 unbroken and you've got 11 minutes left?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyone that, don't do that. I don't know, unless you're looking at this and thinking you can get way through the workout and you're going to do at least the 40s unbroken as well. Like you're going to go 20, 30, 40 unbroken. I would be breaking them up from the start. But for anyone, I don't understand when people are at that level of fitness where they look at this and they're like, oh, maybe I could do them all unbroken. Maybe I'll break the 66 a little bit and then, see how I go on the back end of the workout. That's different. But if you're not confident that you could do 20, 30, 40 unbroken, and even then that's probably a bad plan unless you're aiming for a pretty elite time.
Yeah. And I mean, so realistically then, because it doesn't take long to drop at 10 and then pick that ball back up and get going. Gives your shoulder the chance to recover. So if you can keep your rest breaks short when you do that and don't let the time get away, doing sets of 10 across this workout is probably a smart move for most people at the gym if they can manage sets of 10 under fatigue. And that would be the question. The same thing you say, if you couldn't do 40 wall ball shots, if you're not confident you could do the 40 or the 66 unbroken when you get there, you shouldn't be doing the earlier ones unbroken prior to that.
No, and that's the trap. It's like, well, I could do the 20, but then then what? Then you do say 15, 15, and then all of a sudden when it comes to the 40s, you just you're doing 10s, but you're doing 10s with like 10-second breaks.
Yeah.
As opposed to just do 3-second breaks from the start and stick with your 10s, get in a rhythm. And then I think a great plan would be for someone that is pretty fit and wants to get a good score on this, but obviously is nowhere near elite. If you did 10s from the start, and then I think this is what we were watching someone just do this workout live straight away. I think that's what their plan was, is do 11s on the set of 66. 6 sets of 11. So if you save yourself to where you're feeling good, you might be able to do 6 sets of 11 on the 66s. And then after that, it's just like you're starting to descend, just do what you can do and sort of put the hammer down in the last minutes of the workout. I think that'd be a pretty good strategy.
I'm just thinking too, some people like descending reps. So and this is just getting into the weeds of stuff, but if anyone listens to this and they like the idea of one over the other, a 12 and an 8, a 12, a 10 and an 8, a 12, a 10, a 10 and an 8. And then, like you say, when you get there, well, let's just see how much time's left and what can you hang on to for consistent sets at that point. Yep. I wanted to just talk about too, because I'm like mentally preparing for what questions will people have if they're judging, or what questions will people have like if they're in different categories. So it's interesting. So obviously the RX is what we just discussed. The Masters 55 plus. The women's is the same as the RX category outside of, rather than doing box jump overs, you are allowed to step up on that box across the entire workout. When it comes to the men in the Masters 55 plus, it's still 9 kilo ball, but a 9-foot target rather than the 10-foot target. So anyone at the gym that's over the age of 55, so in that category who wants to hit this workout RX, you'll need the heavier ball, but you can go to the 9-foot target. So 6 kilos for women over 55, 9 kilos for men over 55, but both of them go to the 9-foot target, and jumping is not required if you're in the masters category for 55 plus. There's also the scaled options beside those, but I won't talk through them because it'll just become too confusing right now, but they're obviously more scaled than what is written for RX for ages 16 to 54 and RX for 55 plus. If you're judging or scoring someone, tie break time at the end of each set of the box work. So whether it's the jump overs or the step overs, always a tie break time there. And then I wanted to scroll through. Start standing tall at go, pick up the ball and complete. So you can be facing your wall ball target. After you've done your shots, move through the jumps, blah, 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 blah. Time stops when the ball hits the target on the last wall ball. And I wanted to kind of go through the standards because even though we're pretty consistent with our standards, it's nice to just say, all right, this is what CrossFit said for the wall balls and the box jumps for this workout. Mention the tie break time, what you need. This isn't an issue for us because we've got those rogue boxes, so the box dimensions are fine. All right, wall ball shot. Each rep starts with the ball in the support position in front of the body. A squat clean is allowed but not required to start. Squat until the crease of the hip is clearly below the knee. So probably an important thing here that I think I heard isn't actually allowed in high rocks. So it'd be interesting if anyone who's more high rocks than they are CrossFit does this. Each rep starts with the ball in the support position, but it doesn't start with you standing tall. You just have to be in the bottom of the squat.
Yep. Which is where you can just grab it off the ground, do essentially like a med ball squat clean and just pick it up straight into your front rack and start throwing, which does save time and effort if it's comfortable.
And so especially if you're breaking up into more sets, you know, if you're not going unbroken, that could save you 1 to 2 seconds every time. So instead of picking the ball up, standing up, and then setting yourself to squat down with it, you squat down, you pick it up into that support position, and then your first shot is out of the bottom.
That's what I'll be doing.
Yep. The target, this is, I mean, and this is just comparing what I've learned from high rocks to CrossFit standards. You can see in picture number 2 over here, the rep is credited when the center of the ball hits the target clearly above the specified height. So all of our markers are like the bottom of the target is the 9 foot or the bottom of the target is the 10 foot. Whereas what I learned at high rocks is the center of the target is 9 foot and the center of the target is 10 foot, which is why they felt short.
Yeah.
And so it would be really interesting, and it's hard to know because unless people video, when you video, you have to measure your height. It would be interesting to know if people are out there doing the open workout on their high rocks wall ball targets, which aren't actually to the standard that is required for the CrossFit Open.
Yeah. Yeah. So the center of the target would be like
9.5.
9.5 feet, 10.5 feet, depending on what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's that makes sense.
Which is why, like in class, you'll always hear us say, hey, the ball needs to go clearly above the line.
Yeah.
Because the line is the 9 foot mark or the line is the 10 foot mark. And if the ball's clearly above it, then you've definitely done the height that's required.
Yeah.
The other obvious things for those in the CrossFit, or should be obvious for those in the CrossFit space, no reps if your hip crease isn't lower than your knees, if the ball doesn't pass above that line, or if the ball doesn't touch the target at all. Allowing the that's a standard thing. Allowing the ball to drop from the top of the target, hit the floor, and then you catch it. Rebound is also not allowed. So either it has to drop, settle, and then you pick it up and go again, or you catch it and continue with that. So it's pretty standard stuff there. The box jump over. Each rep starts with both feet on the ground on a side of the box. For the RX, a 2 foot takeoff is required. For the 55 plus division and the scaled variations, athletes may step or jump. A 2 foot takeoff is not required. So if you're doing the RX in that open division, it's an odd thing, 14 to 17 and then 35 to 54. I think that should just say 14 to 17, and then 16 to 54 is what I read somewhere else. Anyway, semantics. For all, 2-foot landing is not required on the top of the box, but both feet must touch on top of the box.
So you could land on one foot and step onto the other. Is that what that means?
Yep, you could skip yourself up there, but as long as both feet make contact with the top of the box, and then you have to step down on the other side, regardless of whether they're jump overs or step overs. So that'll be the interesting thing. Sometimes you can get into a habit of jumping up, jumping off, jumping up, jumping off, jumping up, jumping off. When it comes to the box jump over, practice before the workout starts. If you're not used to it, jumping up, stepping off, jumping up, stepping off. I think most people at Dauntless do that option anyway.
Well, back to getting a good score. So two things, because you're all about the standards, whereas I'm all about the getting a good score. So when it comes to getting a good score, first of all, when it comes to pacing, the box jump overs are your, just stay on that page for a second there as well. The box jump overs are your steady movement. You don't have to break these up because there's naturally a break every time you turn around and jump over the box again. It's like doing burpees. You don't have to do a set of 10 and then like, when am I going to break? It's like, no, this should be the exact same pace, ideally throughout the workout, or if anything, even better, speed up towards the end of the workout on your box jumps, especially if you're on a set of box jumps when your time is running out, you can start cranking them. But for most of the workout, these should be exactly the same speed, and they should be a speed the fastest you can go where you don't spike your heart rate to where you want to have long breaks on the wall ball. You need to keep the breaks on the wall ball short, so you need to keep the pace on the box jumps smooth. Imagine if instead of box jumps it was a rower. You wouldn't send it on the rower, smooth on the rower. Get the job done, smooth pace, and then back to the wall ball and quick broken up sets with minimal rest. So then it says here, point number 3, the rep for the box jump over is credited when both feet touch the ground on the opposite side. And that's important. If you finish on the box jumps and your time's running down, get over the box and onto the other side, because you don't get the rep just for jumping onto the box. You got to get off the box again for that rep to count. So make sure you don't like, 3, 2, and then just like stand up on the box or something because you're like, oh, well, I got that rep. You got to get over and off the box for the rep to count.
And also with that, don't jump off because you're in such a hurry.
Yes, because that'll be no rep. Waste of time.
Correct. Now, for reference for anyone at Dauntless who might have listened to this or be listening to this, Monday the 9th of February, we did a workout that involved 4 sets of box jumps and wall balls, box jump over and wall balls. So that workout, if you can go back to your score or any of your notes from that day, should give you a rough idea of what you can hold or not hold in terms of being able to maintain something across a 12-minute window. Maybe not. I just wanted to go through this to see if there's anything, because I'll be judging at 9:30, so I want to make sure there's nothing that I'm not aware of.
Well, while you're reading that, there was a bit of controversy. So holding the ball for the step-ups, hopefully all of us get into the step-ups. I think that's why the workout is designed the way it is. The step-ups change the stimulus a little bit. It's also going to stop a lot of us normies from shinning ourselves on the boxes at the back end of a 12-minute workout because they're either side of that 66. I think coming off the set of 66 wall balls back into box jumps would have been a perilous time for a lot of us. So we can just step up, but we're stepping up holding, or up and over holding the wall ball. And there are a lot of ways you can hold it. You can hold it front rack, shoulder, or whatever. And I think there was a little bit of talk. Colton was holding it in his front rack and his knees were hitting the wall ball sometimes. Like he was bear hugging it, sorry, not front rack, bear hugging it. And his knees were hitting it sometimes. And you can see in the picture in the green box there, her thigh or knee is actually sort of touching the wall ball as she steps over. And that could happen. But if you look down into the red box, the no reps, if you rest the ball on your thigh, that is definitely a no rep. But I think it's not a big issue if it just makes quick contact as you step up. You're not going to get no reps for that, but you can't just rest the med ball on your thighs at any point and actually stop moving. It's just, you've got to be moving over the box.
And I guess the thing is, like, you have to be holding onto the ball in some capacity. You can't let the ball be resting on your leg, but you can rest
Exactly.
it on your shoulder if you want. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
it does say here athletes do not need to alternate their leg on their step ups. So
Okay.
you could load the same leg over and over again
Don't
there if you wanted to.
don't but well, that's good though. So that's just one less thing the judge has to be watching.
Yeah.
So like when you're judging people doing this, all you're watching is, so I think one of the biggest ones, if you go down to the red one, is that one on the far right, which will be your on one shoulder. You can't push off with your hand on the knee as you like step up. And there, I think in the back end of this workout, if you are carrying the wall ball on your shoulder, you're going to want to do that naturally. That's one of those things we all just do. And that will be something judges need to watch out for, and athletes need to be careful not to do.
So similar in the way to a dumbbell snatch or a dumbbell clean and jerk, the non-working hand in that moment can't touch any part of the body or the box.
Yeah. Yeah. Medicine ball making contact with the box, probably unlikely, but something to be wary of.
And I guess if that happens, let's say it fell off out of someone's hands or it fell off their shoulder, you just have to pick it back up and start your step over again, which at the end of the day is probably a natural thing to want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't rest the ball on your leg as you step up, but certainly if the ball touches your leg, as long as you're holding the weight of the ball, it's not an issue in terms of a no rep.
Yeah. So there's no requirement, because it's a box over, there's no requirement to stand up on the top of it. But you might find, I know the different athletes, even the elite athletes that were going this morning, some of them were standing up almost at the top, and it's a matter of like, can you breathe? And, like what pace are you going? Because Colton was not standing up. And that is obviously a great technique. You're going to go faster. You just like keep your legs low and you just step up and over the box, but you got to have the legs and the lungs to do that. So you might find that standing up, I'm sure I'll probably be standing up on the box overs, because otherwise my lower back's going to blow up. I'm probably going to run out of legs and fitness.
So you're getting there, Juzzy.
What's that?
I said, are you getting there?
Getting where?
To the med ball box step overs.
Oh, I'd like to think that I make it to the first set of step overs. I'm not sure if I'll make it to the second set of step overs. Matt's asked us what our targets are, and I read that question. I thought, I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know where I'm at
yet, but let's go. 6. Maybe that's done if I'm being generous, and I might eat my own words after this, by the 8-minute mark. Maybe that's done by the 11-minute mark. So maybe I get through the 18 med ball box step overs. If I get one of the wall ball shots into the 40, maybe that's where I expect myself to be for this workout.
Well, if you're there, I think I'm gonna where a lot of people are going to end up is where I'm going to end up. The graveyard of 66 wall ball shots is probably where I'm going to be be buried.
And then at the end of the day, it becomes who does the most out of those 66.
Yeah. There was some talk about the time cap being 12 minutes and that it should have been a few minutes longer, because that would have allowed all the elites to get a time, and it would have allowed, more of us to get further through the workout. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think that's necessary. Like if you get, so it's got 12 minutes on it. If you can get through the 66 wall balls, you've done Karen.
Yeah.
Plus some box jump overs and some box step ups. So I think for the regular population, that's more than enough work. Yeah. I think that even though those games athletes didn't finish this morning,
they'll finish when they redo it.
They didn't know the workout. We've had a bit more time to think about the workout, to plan it out. When they get a chance to sit down and go, what's the most strategic plan for me to do this? How's it best for me to pace this? If I can't go unbroken like Colton did, how do I maximize my score here? They'll definitely go and do this again, and they'll finish.
Yeah. So the The time cap was described on the stream. I don't know if this was a Dave Castro thing or if they just the commentators picked it up or whatever, but they said the 12-minute time cap is a mercy kill for most of us.
Yeah.
Because at that point you'll be ready for that clock to go done.
Yeah, you don't want to keep going.
You don't want the extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So the people that did it after the elites this morning, the airmen, so they did it on an airbase, and there was a few sort of like regular athletes that did it. I don't know how fit they are. They could be extremely fit athletes or just regular people. But they got between 190 and 240 reps, which I don't know where that puts it on the. Where does that put it on the thing? So
190 and 240. So around that.
Yeah,
box the wall or box step over window.
Yes. So the fittest one of them got into the 40s, which is pretty impressive. And I think that's going to be those things where it's like the fittest people in the gym are going to get through the top, and then it's just like how far into that back end can you get through? And then for most of us, our goal is going to be to get into the 66 and see what we can do.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
What else?
Great question. What else? I was going to have a look at what the adaptive versions of this were, mostly because I was prepping myself yesterday to need an adaptive version to do today. I've just put my comment up on the screen though. If you're in class on Monday, the 9th of Feb, you can check your score from that workout, which was wall balls and box jump overs, just to get a bit of a gauge. You could look at that because they were sets with rest in between. And each round had a total of, where am I? Oh, jumped back to today. Hold that thought. Each round had a total of 30 wall balls and 15 box jump overs. So that would give you a rough idea of like, hey, when I'm going really, really fast, knowing that I've got rest, I can do this portion of this workout in X time, whatever that time might be. And maybe for the faster people, it was around a minute and a half. So if you looked at it like that, let's go, yeah. It's like don't go out so hot that you can't pick the ball up when you get to this point here, and use that workout as a gauge to like, what did I do and how can I maintain this? And maybe it's this takes a minute and this takes a minute. So that's 2 minutes. These might take 3 minutes. So that's 5 minutes, 6, 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. Then you've got 3 minutes to get through wall balls. If you pace it well from the start, if you stand around and look at the wall ball or the box for ages, then you might only get through this.
You can always speed up in the back end of the workout. Don't go out too hot. Some things that I'll be doing, because I'm not as fit as I once was, and I'm still working my way back to heavier things. So to me, a 9 kilo wall ball actually feels quite heavy. I'll often use a 6 in workouts. It's just a better stimulus for me to be able to move at the pace that workouts are usually written. So for a 9, I'll be breaking it up early. I might even break it up in smaller chunks than 10s, because if someone who's pretty fit is going to do 10s, I kind of think, well, what would it be like for me if I did less than that? Maybe that would be better strategy for me. So I'll have a look at this. 5s might be too quick, but I can pick them up just straight away. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. I wouldn't mind experimenting with 5s just to show people that like you don't have to do big chunks. You can do quick rests instead, and it's still okay. And then I will be using a softbox.
Mm-hmm.
They're bigger. It's more to get over, but I do not want to shin myself.
Fair enough.
And I don't trust myself in the back end.
And that's only an option for the guys anyway, because there's no 20 except for that one.
The one Verve one. The one Verve one. So if you were really scared, you could grab that one softbox. And look, for most people, the hard wooden boxes will be far better. One, they're more stable to land on. In terms of like the top surface, you know what it's going to feel like every time. It's a solid surface. And 2, they are much narrower, so to step across them is less effort, and step down. So for most people, do that. But I'm a soft box person these days. That's just how I roll.
I think too, for you, Jazzy, you're pretty good at holding yourself accountable to your rest breaks as well. So if you were to do 5s for your wall balls, you know when to pick it back up and go again without losing too much time there. That can often be what happens to people. They go, I'm going to do quick 5s, and their quick 5s become a set of 5 that takes them 10 seconds, followed by a 15-second rest. So they've done 5 in 30 seconds and 10 in a minute instead of 5 in 15 seconds and then another 5 in that next 15 seconds, 5 and 5, and getting 20 done in that minute window.
Yeah. So whereas I'm kind of the opposite, where if I try and do 10s and it's beyond my where I should be, it spirals into me having long rests because I know, oh, I don't want to do another 10. This is going to be hard. I just need to wait a second. I'm not ready. I just need to wait a second. Whereas if I make the rep scheme shorter than it maybe should be, I've got no excuse. Like, you can do 5, pick it up.
Yeah.
That's how I try and do it in my head. Whereas, yeah, if I know that 10s is something that is just outside of where I should be, especially sort of 9 minutes into this workout or something, there's a lot of reasons for me to not pick the wall ball up. And one of those is, I don't know if I can do 10 right now. I need a second. So there is the thing too, that if you're into the 66, and you're in the last 2 minutes of the workout, if things are starting to get weird and you want to, just start doing sets. Like, hold yourself accountable to rest, but don't hold yourself accountable to reps. Don't push to get 10 just because you said I'm going to do 10s. If you pick 3, 2, 1, pick the ball up. And if you only throw it 4 times, put it down, 3, 2, 1, pick the ball up. Like, just get the reps, just keep chipping away at it. Don't sit there waiting to feel good to throw another set of 10 when you're in the last couple of minutes of the workout. In my opinion.
Yeah, if you feel like you've got an extra one, do an extra one in that moment.
Yep.
In that last window of time. All right.
Cool.
What
we should
else?
Probably go and do stuff, I guess. I need to figure out whether I'm doing this workout at 9:30 or in the afternoon, which means I need to make a phone call.
Okay. I thought you were definitely doing it at 9:30.
I'm undecided yet.
Okay.
I just got a missed call and I've got to return it.
All right. Well, let's get off here.
Okay.
If you're listening, thank you. Oh, there was one. Actually, you can jump off and make that phone call, Juzzy. I was just going to say this. Nikita did ask a question yesterday, so I'll go over that while you're off the stream.
All right. Toodles.
Bye. Let me find Nikita's question so I answer the right thing. One day I'll get used to where I find this. One day. Oh, one day. How do I get into this? I don't know why they haven't made this comments part very simple for me. Is that a user error, or is that just how it is? Oh, pause that. Go down there. So Nikita's question was, what's the requirement for non-box people? Do you have to submit a video with your score for the Open? And so all that means is, look, at the end of the day, I'm not 100% across this. I'm pretty sure that you have to submit a video to be able to log your score online. Sorry, let me rephrase that. This is where it gets in the weeds. It's like, if you don't expect to be up the top and qualifying in the top 25%, you just need to submit a link to your video. And I've seen in the past people's links be links to random YouTube videos. So it's like, you can submit your score, Nikita, online without it being a recording of your video, as long as there's a link that you put in to that score submission for if someone was going to watch it and review your movement standards. And that would be the naughty way to do it, would be put a link that isn't to your video because you were too lazy to film your video. If you've got the capacity to film your video, upload it unlisted to YouTube or Vimeo or something, and then put that link in there, that would be the best way to do it, because then, like, as an example, I could go on there. I could know that you've uploaded your video. I could watch your video and I could give it a thumbs up if it's good, a like, if there's some reps that might need looking at, and then a thumbs down if the video's totally bad, that it's just, you're not even in it the whole time. It's not even a video of you. And with that in mind, though, unless you're in that top, not even 25%, probably like top 10 people of the workout, those thumbs up this way or that way don't really mean anything at the end of the day, other than I'm pretty sure you can see if someone said, hey, there's something off with this video, or yes, that's a good video. So that was a fluff around. Long story short, if you're doing it at home in your garage, if you've got a wall ball target, you will have to film the height of your box. You will have to film the height of your wall ball target. You will then have to record yourself unedited and upload it. That is how the online submissions for the videos work. If you want to make it nice and simple, just come and see us at Dauntless. Join in for the Open for the 3-week window. You'll get someone judge you, so they'll count your reps, keep you accountable. You'll also get to put CrossFit Dauntless down as the affiliate where you did the Open workout, and then whoever's approving scores at Dauntless will be able to tick you off as, yes, she did that at CrossFit Dauntless, and we believe that the score she submitted is correct based off the score sheet we have. So if you want to keep it nice and simple, you can just turn up and come into heats. If anyone does want that, then the best thing to do would be to turn up. If you're not contacting Pete or Joey this afternoon about it, turn up from 5 p.m. and we'll find a blank spot in a heat this afternoon and we'll slot you in, and you'll be able to get that done as part of your Open workout today. But yes, if you are at home and you are recording it at home, you are required to submit a link to your video. And then that was that little piece of like, is anyone looking at the link you submit with your video? Yes, no, maybe. How's your integrity? Are you going to video the thing yourself and put the correct link up? Or are you going to just do the workout, submit a score, and then put some random link on there? And that's where it's like, hey, if it just is for you to be a part of the Open leaderboard without too much care, you, do what you want. If you want to be a part of a fun environment for the Open workouts where everyone's pushing themselves, and we all know we work harder when we're around other people, come into CrossFit Dauntless. If you want to do your score submission from home legitimately with a proper video, then find those online video submission standards, which if I can get back to, is online somewhere. The website was having a little bit of a fizz out this morning, so it was hard to find even the scorecard. Obviously, just everyone was looking for it. But there will be requirements for video submissions in a separate document for anything you might need to know. But again, that stuff's designed for the top 1% who might win the money from winning the workout, might win the Open after 3 weeks. It's like those video submissions are to make sure that those people are doing the right thing before they get paid. And then, of course, it's like from that point, as it trickles down, the top 25% qualify for quarterfinals. If someone comes into the top 25%, they haven't done any of the workouts, they've just submitted scores that have got them there. At the end of the day, they've taken a spot off someone who's finished in the 26th percentile instead of the 25th. And so they don't know who they're letting down. But when you take a broader view of it, you can, you're taking that moment away from someone who did the right thing. So I went into a bit of a ramble there. You can be naughty and put your score in and put a link that isn't to your video. You can do the right thing and video, upload it to YouTube or something unlisted and link it. Or you can come into an affiliate, do the workout, be judged, submit your score directly online and have it approved by the affiliate manager. So I guess there's 3 options there for you. What do I do if I'm doing it at home? Just come in and see us. I'm going to wrap it up there because otherwise I'm going to run out of time this morning. Thanks so much if you were listening, and we'll see you next Thursday and then probably Friday again after that.